If you really want to enjoy your cooking, you want to make it easier on yourself, like having everything set up ahead of time before you start. The French call this mise en place, a place for everything and everything in its place. And speaking of everything in its place, whenever you're having a fine brew, always have it in a glass. This way you can really enjoy the fragrance of the beer. This is Kona Brewing Company Longboard Island Lager. Longboard serving has been the tradition of Waikiki Beach, Honolulu for over 90 years. This crisp, pale gold lager is made from premium pale malt and aromatic hops, brewed in a traditional lager style. And yes, you can cook with it. It's part of our recipe today, pan-grilled steaks with mushroom onion lager sauce. Now, what if you like wine? Simply substitute the beer in the recipe for this carnivore Cabernet Sauvignon. This wine is a unique combination of full-body flavors and finesse. The rich blend shows hints of blackberry, caramel, roast coffee, and toasted oak. Carnivore Cabernet finishes each bold sip with a refined smoothness. Now the recipe starts by heating your skillet over medium-high heat for at least 2 minutes. We want to get a good caramelization on these steaks. In the meantime, we'll season with some kosher salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Repeat for the second side. Next we'll add some oil to the pan, give it a swirl, and we'll add our seasoned steaks. Now for best results, use a stainless steel skillet and don't touch them for at least 2 minutes to get a good brown color and caramelization. Great flavor. Now you see that residual burn at the bottom of the pan? That's called fond. It's going to give some fantastic flavors to our sauce. Now that our steaks are seared for 2 minutes per side, we're going to go ahead and lower the temperature to medium-low, and use a lid. So your skillet is now acting like an oven. And we'll continue to turn every minute or so while you're cooking till it's done to your liking. I like mine medium rare. And what's the best temperature for medium rare? 130 degrees. Make sure you get one of these little meat thermometers and have it in your kitchen at all times. Now that is perfect. And we'll place our steaks on a clean plate and cover it with the same lid. We'll actually gain 5 more degrees internal temperature. Now to that same pan with that beautiful fond, we're going to add some more oil, swirl a coat. We'll add our sliced mushrooms. Now, just as with the steak, don't touch the mushrooms for a good minute or two to get a good caramelization on there. That sizzling you hear is called the applause, and will stop when they're ready. Let's add a pinch of salt and some fresh cracked pepper, and we'll give them a toss. Remember, never rinse your mushrooms. They're already in 90% water. Well, that smells good already. Next, we're going to add a pat of butter and our onions. And we'll saute until caramelized. Now that we're caramelized with beautiful flavoring, we're going to add our garlic, because you don't want to burn it, because if you do, it's very bitter. And we'll add just a little bit of our dried thyme, not too much. You don't want them to know it's thyme, you want them to question what is that essence and that flavor, but don't tell them. Now if you're on an open flame stove, remove it from the heat, and we'll add our Kona longboard to deglaze the bottom of the pan. Now the kitchen smells really good. And as I said earlier, if you want to use the wine instead. And we'll put this back on to reduce, to concentrate those flavors. Don't forget to add those juices from your steaks back into the sauce as well. Now when the liquid has reduced by 75%, we're going to finish off with a couple of pats of butter. And when it melts, we're ready to eat. This is tomato concasse. Diced tomatoes, seeded, olive oil, and a little fresh basil. Enjoy with the Kona Longboard Lager, Carnivore Cabernet Sauvignon, or if you have guests who like white, try the Starborough Sauvignon Blanc.